You know that shit is harmful for you, but you can't stop, bro. You have an addiction. You know the people that inject meth or be smelling coke and they know it's bad for them, but they can't stop and they still do it? What do you call that? A drug addict. That's what you are right now, bro. You are a drug addict. And I realized going through this process of removing myself from eating all this bullshit every day, how fucking hard it is to actually stop. And it made me realize how junk food literally will turn you into a motherfucking drug addict. So I'm gonna tell you how eating junk food turned me into a depressed drug addict. Maybe you're watching this video and you find it very hard to step away from eating junk food. Maybe you've tried in the past. I'm gonna share with you my personal story of how I realized that eating junk food is actually turning me into a depressed drug addict, okay? You see, about 2 years ago, I got in a pretty bad spot, bro. I was working long hours, 60 hours a week plus. I was in a relationship that wasn't going too well. I wasn't too happy with things. And for the most part, I had been a pretty healthy guy up to this point, right? I had been working out for years. I wouldn't eat super healthy all the time, but for the most part, I was eating healthy, right? And for the first time in my life, I literally began to eat McDonald's every single day. Every single day after work. When I would leave the barbershop, I'd literally drive to McDonald's, 4 McChickens, 2 large fries, a shake, 2 apple pies, and then when they had the cream pies, I'd get those, right? And I realized how much that affected me, bro. Not to mention, my physique went down the drain in a matter of several weeks, in a matter of a few weeks, right? But I started to realize that I was starting to struggle with depression, something that I had really never even struggled with before, right? I've been a pretty normal dude, ups and downs like everybody else, but like feeling depressed and feeling repressed, that had been something that I had never experienced, right? And over the next several months, I started to feel more and more depressed, right? And I was always wondering like, yo, like, why do I feel like dog shit? Why do I feel so fucking terrible? I feel so low about myself. I felt like I had this cloud over my fucking head. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I was smoking weed at the time too. So that just even compounded things worse. I was way overindulging and I was eating way more than McDonald's every day, right? We're talking about like Dunkin' Donuts in the morning and all this shit. Literally every day I was eating junk food, right? And one day I sat down and I was like, man, you know what? This is not the person that I want to be, right? I looked at my physique. I had gotten fat. You guys seen the pictures I've posted on here before. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to take action. I'm going to stop eating junk food. This shit ain't good for me no more. I feel weird. Maybe this shit is making me feel depressed. And so I committed to, you know what? Let me stop eating this shit, right? So next thing you know, I drew up myself a meal plan because you guys know I make meal plans. So I already knew how to do this stuff, right? So I drew myself up a meal plan. I was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, I couldn't stay away from the fucking junk food, bro. I could not stay away from the junk food. Like I literally could not. I literally became a drug addict because you see, here's the problem, bro. We all understand that junk foods is bad for us. Scientific studies have already proven that junk food causes depression. They've already proven that it messes with your chemical brain function, right? They've already proven that it's unhealthy as fuck. And despite the fact that we know it's unhealthy, that we know it's bad for us, we still choose to do it. So what does that sound to you like? Literally, you are a drug addict. I was a drug addict, bro. You know the people that inject meth or be smelling coke and they know it's bad for them, but they can't stop and they still do it? What do you call that? A drug addict. That's what you are right now, bro. You are a drug addict. And I realized going through this process of removing myself from eating all this bullshit every day, how fucking hard it is to actually stop. And it made me realize how junk food literally will turn you into a motherfucking drug addict. Guys, these companies spend millions every year to make the most addictive fucking foods imaginable. That's how to make profit, by making this shit super addictive, right? And so I began to realize, bro, this shit is tough. This shit is hard. If I'm going to stop eating junk food and get over my junk food addiction, I'm going to have to cut it out completely, bro. That's step number one, cutting it out completely. You guys might be watching this. Yo, that's extreme. Like, you can always have something here and there. Here's the thing, bro. When a heroin addict is getting over his addiction, what happens if he takes 1 or 2 hits maybe once a week? What happens? he's going to relapse. He's going to fall right back into it, right? Because he hasn't conquered the addiction. Same concept with the junk foods, right? A lot of you guys that love to eat shit, just like I did, bro. Cookies, cheesecake, all that bullshit, junk foods, fast food, burgers, all that shit, right? And there's nothing wrong with burgers as long as you make it healthy, right? We'll talk about that later. But if you have an issue with an addiction to these foods, okay, you need to remove it completely. The reason that you're still addicted is because you never got over the addiction, bro. You know what I'm saying? If a drug addict told you, hey, bro, like, I'm getting over this addiction, but let me just inject some drugs every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Is he ever going to get over his addiction? Fuck no, he's going to relapse. And that's what was happening to me, right? Because I was having these fucking cheat meals, when in reality, I was setting myself back. So you have to understand that in order to get over this addiction that you have to junk foods, you need to remove it completely. You're probably thinking like, damn, bro, like I've tried, you know what I'm saying? How can I actually do this? You know what I'm saying? How can I actually do this? All you need is one victory, bro. I remember specifically, there was one specific day where my family had invited me out to eat ice cream, right? Because my family fucking loves ice cream, right? They had invited me out to eat ice cream along with my significant other at the time. And as I was pulling up to that spot, bro, I know that I had committed to myself to stop eating junk food, right? And as I was pulling up to that spot, I had that voice in my head telling me, bro, you just started this diet plan and now they're going out for ice cream and now you're going to fucking eat because you love ice cream, right? I was telling myself all this negative shit, right? And once we got to the ice cream spot, they asked me what I wanted and I told them, nah, I don't want nothing, right? And they looked at me. They thought I was crazy. They thought I was crazy because Marcos, Huncho, saying no to ice cream, they had never seen that before in months because they had seen the lifestyle I was living. And they were kind of surprised, bro. And honestly, I was surprised too. But I finally mustered the fucking discipline and the determination to just say no one time. Because you see, after that no, all the other no's got way fucking easier. After I proved to myself that I can really do this shit, that I can really say no, that I can really abstain, everything started rolling down the hill after that, bro. The next time it was easier and easier and easier because I was looking back at that day and I was drawing strength from it, bro. I was like, yo, I already proved to myself that I can stay away from these bullshit foods. And I was using that as momentum to carry me forward and reinforce the new identity that I was creating for myself. But if you never get that first no, if you never see that first no, if you never prove to yourself that you can actually say no one time, you will never be able to actually get over this addiction because it starts with one no. That's it. I remember that no to this day. You know what I'm saying? I remember that no to this day. I can look back on it and remember exactly where I was sitting, exactly their reaction, and exactly how I felt after I said no. I was like, yo, this is it. This is the fucking moment I needed to finally take that first step and never look back. Because every time I look back, I just remember the strength and the decision that I made, which makes every other no even easier. Okay? So that's why I say eating junk food will literally make you into a depressed drug addict. It literally messes with your brain chemistry, bro. If you're watching this and you're eating junk foods on the regular, I guarantee you're probably not happy about your life or you're not happy about yourself, right? And it doesn't have too much to do with shame or anything like that. No, it's actually your brain chemistry is fucked up because in a matter of 2 weeks, once I stopped eating that shit, I was feeling like fucking Superman, bro. My confidence was fucking awesome. My self-esteem was fucking awesome. I felt great. What changed? Did I get ripped in 2 weeks? No. What changed was my brain chemistry that I stopped eating all these bullshit fucking foods that you're eating, right? You know that shit is harmful for you, but you can't stop, bro. You have an addiction. This junk food addiction, it might sound funny to some of you guys watching, but this is a real thing, bro. This is a real thing. And a lot of you guys watching this shit have it and do not even realize it. You know what I'm saying? I choose to eat for function. I choose to eat for purpose. I don't eat just to have an emotion like a girl. I don't have a pussy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in my feelings. I don't make decisions based off feelings. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it might taste good now, but what is this going to make me look like tomorrow? How am I going to feel mentally tomorrow? How am I going to feel energy-wise tomorrow? Like shit. So instead, I choose to eat for function, healthy foods that are going to enable me to get to where I want to get to tomorrow. And that's the beauty of the healthy lifestyle, bro. Is every decision that you make now, you're going to reap the benefits in the future. Whereas what you're doing now is you're making decisions now that you're paying for and regretting in the future, living a life of regret and shame, right? So this is my soap opera tale about how junk foods literally turned me into a depressed drug addict, bro. And once I stopped eating this shit, I realized, bro, I feel so fucking amazing right now. All that junk food was causing me to feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Because it only took me a matter of 2 fucking weeks. I started getting my mental clarity back, my self-esteem back, my confidence back. The way I was just vibrating, like I just felt like a different fucking person because all these foods are literally making you depressed. It's proven, bro, right? So if you want to get over this shit, if you want to really change your fucking life, bro, you need to address this issue, okay? Because not only is this affecting your depression, your mood, it's affecting your confidence. It's affecting the way that you view yourself, the way that you feel about yourself, and that affects the way that you communicate with other people. It affects your relationships, the way that you treat your family. If you feel good about yourself, you're going to treat other people good. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you guys treat your family like shit. I've said it before because you feel like shit about yourself. So you're just reflecting your own feelings onto your family, and they have to bear the burden of your shitty feelings because you're making the wrong fucking choices every day about what you decide to put in your mouth. Pause. So if you want to finally stop this shit and change your fucking life, how I changed mine, get to that first no. The sooner you can get to that first no and win that first battle, the quicker you will get over this fucking problem of being addicted to this bullshit foods that these companies pay billions and billions of dollars for every year to make more and more addicting, to keep you addicted, because that's how they make profit, bro. So that's my story on junk foods and how they negatively affected my life. If you found that helpful, click the like button. Southpaw Huncho, checking out. Peace.